Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Diz Unlimited podcast. This is episode 48. I am going to be leading our Disney discussion today. My name is Rhino. I'm the executive producer around these here parts. And joining me for this fun and lively Disney discussion, we have the one, the only Diz correspondent, Chloe Ferreira.
Hi.
I actually don't know if you're the only Diz correspondent, theme park correspondent, but
I think so.
You're the
hey, howdy, hey. Hey, howdy, hey.
Why are you yelling at me?
Hey, howdy, hey. I'm so used to saying ahoy today. We're recording some Disney Cruise Line shows, and I'm like, what do I usually say on the Tuesday show?
Listen, baby, just live your truth.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Hey, howdy, hey. Ahoy. Ahoy there. No, thank you for being here, Chloe. It is just Chloe and I today. We decided it was Monday. We were here recording DCL shows today, and we decided with all the updates that we were getting about the hurricane that it would be easier for us to just pre-record the Tuesday show. We didn't want to leave you without entertainment. And so it's just her and I because I didn't summon in the discount diva Hurricane Hannah Anderson, which at this point feels a little offensive. I feel like we're tiptoeing into that. You know, hurricane's becoming a very dirty word. So so it's just her and I today, but that doesn't mean we're not going to have fun. I think we've got a couple of like news updates and stories, and then of course we're gonna have Chloe's got some rage today that we're gonna work out on the show.
Oh no!
And we're gonna have a fun spooky Halloween discussion toward the end here. So before we get started on all of that, I want to remind everybody that this and everything that we do here is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. They are experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. When you book with them, it costs you nothing extra on your trip, and you help support the channel and all of the content that we produce here. So check them out, dreamsunlimitedtravel.com, for a free, no obligation quote today. It is also brought to you by our Patreon supporters. We could not do this without you. If you want to learn more about how you can get different exclusive content from different members of the Diz team, you can head over to patreon.com/DizUnlimited and learn all about that. All right. Chloe, thank you for being here.
Of course.
Thank you for loving me.
Thank you for being here.
Pass the mashed potatoes. We'll save that for Thanksgiving. That's a little Bob's Burgers reference, which is in the Disney family. So everyone, cool it. That's a Disney-related banter.
We could do that one where she's hanging up the bats and they're smiling because they're happy. It's Halloween.
They're more authentic.
They're more authentic, yeah.
Linda, why does that make them more authentic? Because it's their favorite holiday. Chloe, how are you?
I'm well.
That's
how are
good.
You? The hurricane's coming, so you know.
She's a-coming. She's a-coming.
Doing good otherwise.
Yeah. It seems like this is turning out to be one of the rainier, stormier seasons in recent memory, and it feels like, why couldn't you do this in November or something? Because you're just taking away our Halloween time, Halloween Horror Nights, you know, all the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties. Like, oh my God, give it a rest.
We're already 7 days into October. What are we gonna do? We got a lot to catch up on next week.
Well, and hurricane season doesn't end till I think it's November 4th.
So we gotta live up all the dry days that we can.
Yeah. So it's one of those. It's tough, but we're making the most of it. Chloe and I actually had a fun Halloween picture, like cute
spooky
little
snacks, spooky drinks, spooky photos.
Yeah. I don't know if any of that's getting picked up on the microphone, but there was a really loud fire engine that just went through right behind me right as I moved, and I was like, what's falling down? What's falling down? But the first news story that we have to update here is about the Orlando International Airport, MCO, which is going to cease commercial passenger and private operations before Hurricane Milton reaches the Gulf Coast. The airport has issued the following notice on Wednesday morning, October 9th. Orlando International Airport and Orlando Executive Airport will cease commercial passenger and private operations in advance of Hurricane Milton, a move made in condition with our partners. I just said condition. I meant coordination. That makes more sense. The airport is not closed and will remain open to accept emergency aid and relief flights as necessary. We will resume commercial operations as soon as possible based on damage assessment. The Greater Orlando Aviation Authority, GOA, which manages and operates both MCO and Orlando, the executive airport, continues to stress safety. Passengers are encouraged to check with their airlines for flight updates. GOAA wants to alert the public that MCO is not an authorized shelter. The airport cannot accommodate local residents during severe weather events. We will continue to monitor the storm and provide additional updates as needed. So, I feel like there's nothing really out of the ordinary here. If you've ever come in or been around when there's been hurricanes and stuff, the airport usually closes for a hot second or as long as it may need, which is, so basically if your flight isn't coming here on Tuesday, you're not getting here, I don't think, until at least Thursday, but probably a little bit later. I did see right before we started recording that I believe Tampa is ceasing operations Tuesday morning at like 9 a.m. And they're a little further south, and I think they're in a greater impact zone than us. But right now, it's essentially the entirety of Central Florida. And the line for the hurricane, as of recording this, is going straight through, like the little blue dot where it's like you are right here. The line is going right through that dot. And so I'm a little stressed.
One of the spaghetti models. Just one of those.
I don't trust spaghetti, Chloe.
I mean, it's not the noodle to trust, you know.
It's not the noodle. It's not a fettuccine. It's
it's no penne.
It's a penne. Get that angel hair right out of here. No, so I am starting to feel a little bit pressed, a little bit stressed, but aren't we all? But we're going to remain positive, and we're going to prep the best we can. I did my hurricane prep over the last couple of days. It's going to continue, obviously, into Tuesday. I have to make sure all that, the little stuff you don't think of, the planters, things like that, coming down. I'm a little worried about the dogs. I do live on a second floor. I live
on a third.
So, yeah.
I'm just hoping for no power lost, please.
Yeah, I know. The last time we had, it's in the 15 years I've lived here, I don't think I've had a Category 3 hurricane come through here. I think I've been, I'm knocking on wood, fortunate enough to really only have like a Category 1, I think. I don't know what Irma was. I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
But I think Irma caused the most damage to like this area in terms of the storms I've been here. So I'm going to keep hoping for luck, and we'll see. But to anybody that's in its path, wherever it may lead, because I also see one of the models shows it clipping the edge of like Cancun and things, that everybody kind of stays safe and stay up to date. If you are traveling here, or you're coming here soon, or you're cruising, or whatever you're doing, make sure you're reaching out to your Dreams Unlimited travel agent to figure all of the logistics out for that. And hey, there's a great reason why you kind of want to have a Dreams Unlimited travel agent, because I hear the line like on the phone, it's like 7 hours right now. And if it was anything like rescheduling the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, that was a 2.5 hour phone call. I cannot even imagine. It is so infuriating to listen to that whole music the way it is. So, but yeah, just, good vibes to everybody out there. I hope everyone gets through this safely. And we of course, will let you know how we came out, or we won't.
We will.
That was a very negative thought. I'm sorry.
Don't catastrophize.
These bat ears behind me, literally like my version of Mickey ears for the holiday, because it's like there's a bat, but then you're
gonna fly away.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but there's nowhere. I can't put it on the shelf above me, which I kind of wish I could, but regardless, that's for people watching. Okay, so since the discount diva is not here today, because again, I didn't tell her we were recording, I'm going to be playing her role, and I'm going to read from an article, y'all, that I wrote, y'all. Run up on the Diz, y'all.
Flawless Hannah.
That's Hannah.
Flawless Hannah.
Flawless Hannah you got there. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Are you Swedish? Why are you?
I don't know.
You sound like a designer. Oh, that's a fun shirt, y'all. All right. So Hannah has an article up on the Diz, and it's called "You Too Can Save Hundreds on a 2025 Disney World Vacation." So Walt Disney World released the first of its 2025 discounts this week, including resort room offers and package discounts, ! The Walt Disney Resort room offer includes saving up to 20% on stays most Sunday through Thursday nights, January 1st through February 20th, 2025, plus up to 25% off stays most nights February 23rd to April 30th, 2025. You can also save up to $200 per night on a 3-night, 2-day ticket package at select Disney World Resort hotels for most nights February 26th through June 30th. So these are deals for like the first 6 months of next year, which is like crazy. Florida residents and annual pass holders can also get in on these big savings with exclusive discounts. Florida residents can save up to 25% on stays most Sunday through Thursday nights January 1st through February 20th, plus up to 30% off stays most nights February 23rd through April 30th. And then Disney World annual pass holders can save up to 30% on stays most Sunday through Thursday nights January 1st through the 20th, and then up to 35% on stays February 23rd, through April 30th. These savings add up to hundreds of dollars off a 2025 Disney World vacation. Dreams Unlimited travel agents have been busy this week getting these new discounts applied to their clients' reservations. Here are some real examples of these savings. I actually think this is really helpful because I need information like this to be like quantify it, because sometimes it's just like it gets all mumbly and jumbly. So over $200 saved for a family of 3 at Pop Century from February 16th through the 21st. There was almost $300 saved for 2 at Port Orleans Riverside May 15th through May 21st. This one's a big one. Almost $800 saved for a family of 5 in the Lion King Family Suites at Art of Animation April 21st through the 27th.
Wow.
And then over $900 saved for a family of 4 at the Contemporary April 27th through May 1st. This is the big one. Over $1,200 saved for a family of 4 at the Wilderness Lodge with an upgraded view type May 13th through May 21st. Those are also not like traditionally not busy seasons. So that's why it's like that's money saved on a busy time of year. So now is the perfect time to book your 2025 Walt Disney World vacation for extra savings and the best availability. Disney World package reservations only require a $200 deposit to lock in these rates. Be sure to reach out to a Dreams Unlimited travel agent to help book these savings for you. You'll also receive expert planning at no additional cost. Again, it is one of those things. If you are just curious about pricing, you can reach out. You're not obligated at all. But I'm glad we added this Disney discount section to the show. Mm-hmm. My mother was a single mother of 4, and trying to bring us here. Basically, we only ever got to come here because my great grandmother used to live in like Fort Myers and then in Marco Island, down toward the bottom of the state. And so we got like 1 or 2 days, never on property. At one day at like a Disney park, it would be definitively it would be like Magic Kingdom and Epcot or Magic Kingdom and Universal Studios. So we'd rotate between those. Because my mother was like, I heard MGM, as they called it in those days, was terrible. So she'd never bring us there. And then Animal Kingdom opened in 98. But she was like, we've been to a safari. Because in New Jersey, I think there's a Six Flags with a safari or something. It's not quite the same thing. So, but we didn't know back in those days. The internet wasn't what it was. And so it's just one of those, it's like kind of funny. Thinking on it now, I'm like, this would have been a big deal. This is like, that's money to feed people. We were backpack lunch people. So I like having this part where it is really like, what, tips and tricks or the deals or the whatever, because it's like, yes, please. Like, I want to help people save money,
Yeah. I mean, I grew up being a local here, but not to Orlando, but South Florida. So we live close enough to the parks where we drive up for a day, but sometimes we get the occasional staycation just because of the really good deals they used to have. So this is kind of comparable to that timeline, but I don't know if you remember like $65 rates at All Stars, which is unheard of now. Like, 65, and then it was like 79, 89. Now it's like,
I do remember when it was like under 100.
Yeah. So
you remember like when I moved here, a park ticket, I think was still like $65.
Right.
Yeah. So like being like, oh, it was forever ago. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
That like a park ticket, you were like, oh, I'm still getting what I pay for. And then when they were like, Hollywood Studios very quickly went over $100. Like it jumped rapidly, and it was just one of those where I was like, well, we never would have been able to
inflation, cost of living, and minimum wage. Let's move on.
All the things.
All the things.
Well, we will do the best we can as a podcast, as the travel agency, as that things to help people save the money wherever we can. And it's kind of the thing. We try to tell it honestly, openly, and I think having that discussion is important. So if you have any questions about anything like that, and you're afraid to reach out, there's always the comment section of the video and things like that. Also, I'd love to hear tips and tricks that people have in terms of like money saving things or what they do when they're coming down for vacation. I love to hear about the things that people pack to travel with that makes their life easier too. The whole thing is I want this show to be an open dialogue with its audience. So please feel free to come out and like have some conversation with us. It'd be nice to have some nice conversation.
It would be nice.
Yeah. Okay, so our next part we're going to talk about here had Chloe in a rage before we get started.
A small rage.
It's a tiny...
Just a little one.
A little rage. So basically, here's the thing. At the Boardwalk, we finally had review coming soon because we did eat there. The Blue Ribbon Corn Dog finally opened after like what felt like forever.
Yeah.
There has been another area of this boardwalk that has been closed for forever, which was the ESPN, area.
And then they rebranded their Boardwalk Bakery to be the Boardwalk Deli, so it wasn't too close of a competitor to this new place.
Yeah, which is called the Cake Bake Shop, right? And
Cake Bake Shop Restaurant, Cake Bake Shop Bakery. There's two.
Oh, it's two parts. Mm-hmm. Okay. Chloe was reading a little about it before we got started and everything like that. But the walls are down officially as of recording this. And with those walls coming down is people got to see a complete menu of this place.
With prices.
Girl.
I'm
going to go ahead and let you take over here.
All right. I was reading some more.
This is insane.
Yeah, I was reading some more. So this is in Indiana. It's owned by a woman from Indiana, and she started from the ground up. She was originally from New Orleans. Her story is it's a good story. She loved to bake, and then she eventually opened up her own bake shop, and then a second one that is more of like a restaurant, and it's very like tea party-esque. Like it feels like they used to have like afternoon tea at the Grand Floridian, and this is what the feeling that it's giving me. But that's
it's definitely
a little
what the
bit
vibe
more
is,
affordable versus this price. So she is finally opening up this location at the Boardwalk, that's lovely for her. I'm very happy for her. It seems great. But all of their prices are like 40 to 50% more than her other locations.
Which is and I know there's the perception where it's like
it's at Disney World, of course.
Yeah, and the pricing is expensive, so you have to expect that.
We're talking.
Cannot remember being so shocked by prices of things at Disney. So that's saying something.
We're talking $8 for a glass of Coke, $10 for a glass of Earl Grey tea.
It is not even that much money at like a concert.
No,
right?
That's just drinks. I'll get into the food. I came across the $52 dish of crab cakes. The menu is pretty expansive. There's a lot of options, but I'm like sandwiches are between $23 and $34, excuse me. A broccoli quiche is $28. There's charcuterie board for $78. Pesto burrata appetizers, $34. The thing it looks gorgeous, and I'm sure the food is very delicious. They say that all the pastries and the food is made from scratch in-house. The thing that I'm most bothered about, though, is that Disney's Boardwalk Resort doesn't have a good dining location for guests to have, especially if you're staying at the Boardwalk.
Yeah.
And it's a DVC resort as well. And I'm not saying like they need a run-of-the-mill food court, quick service food court, whatever, but like for this to be the big restaurant option on the Boardwalk, I mean, I don't know. I guess is the deli their answer to that instead?
Well, I mean, was there like the pizza window?
The corn dog nugget?
Yeah.
Or corn dog? Yeah, blue ribbon corn dogs.
Wish they were nuggets.
I know. There should little tiny pickled corn dog nuggets.
Yeah,
with peanut butter dipping sauce.
Listen, I'm
classy.
Listening.
I'm classy.
I'm listening. Yeah. Well, so our friend Brooke McDonald, who is a great. I always say Brooke McDonald and Scott Gustin. These are two very
In the know.
Good. Well, they're also really good at breaking down like dense information and making it very consumable in small bites, which is really appreciative. And they are in the know, and so they're very like right on it, and that's the thing they thrive on, which is great. So I text Brooke before this because she had shared on her Instagram stories some reaction that somebody had like compiled price comparisons and things like that. So Brooke is actually she has DVC, and their home resort is the Boardwalk. And she said this, the one thing I will say for insight for the show is she said, as a DVC member whose home resort is the Boardwalk, like no one complained. So this is the example she used. No one complained that Tecumate was expensive because there's a quick service and a moderate table service there too, right in that same pavilion, right? No one would lose their mind to the same extent about a $32 burger at Disney Springs because you can get $20 cheaper burgers at Disney Springs, right? So at Boardwalk, they closed ESPN and Big River and the to-go stand, which were all the normal food places.
Yes. Yeah.
So to close all of those and say the only place you can get a burger now is $32, $32 for an adult. $18 for a kid's burger.
There's nothing cheaper than $18 on the kids menu. And I'm talking buttered noodles, a PB&J, a grilled cheese, $18. I think there's something $23 in the kids menu too. The slices of cake, what they're known for at the cake bake shop, they're $22 for a slice of cake, starting at $22.
So she said it's impossible to eat as a family at Boardwalk for any length of time, and it's a DVC resort where people are supposed to stay for a week.
Right.
And that's valid. And a lot of my complaints geared toward like DVC resorts specifically that as I become more familiar with them over these years, is like, I mean, I thought like with Riviera, I was like, there's no dedicated bar. Like and that was my thing where I was like, what if I want to come back and have a drink? I was like, there's a pool bar.
There's the coffee bar that turned into like a beer and wine bar.
Yeah, that came later. That I feel like wasn't necessarily that in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And it's a space that's nice for it. But at least they have like the quick service down there.
Yes,
and stuff
that
like
quick service is great.
And yeah, the Boardwalk, yes, I get it. It's near Epcot. But it is one of those things where it's like, I'm just thinking about where you would go around there. And it just feels like
I would walk over to Yacht and Beach.
Again? I don't know.
Walk over to the Yacht and Beach Club because they have that food court that's kind of attached to the Beach Club. Has that one that's attached to the gift shop. They have that walk up and order.
I mean, it's very
food.
tiny, but
it's very tiny, so it can get pretty busy, especially like after a park day. But I don't know. I don't want to wish anything unwell on this small company, but at the same time, like I don't see these prices. How
much was some of the egg dishes? Can you name it? You said one before we got started, and I was like $30-something.
Give me a second. I think I'm on the lunch and dinner menu. Let me get to the breakfast.
It's egg based. How can it be this much money? Like it's. I get that you're like, oh well, it's supposed to be this premium thing. There gets to a point where I was like, girl, this ain't the bear.
So, egg sandwiches $23. Eggs any style $26. Classic eggs Benedict $34.
So scrambled eggs for $26. What comes with it?
Any style, so any cheese you want, I guess. I don't know. Crab cake eggs Benedict is $42. There's something called a blackberry avocado salad, which sounds great. It's $26. Pancakes are $22. I don't know what is included in this fruit plate, but a fruit plate on the breakfast menu is $26. Granola and yogurt with berries is $26. Go to the France Pavilion. Go to the patisserie in France, and
you got to think the price for like even just two adults, right? Two
you're
adults that make their own money
on breakfast.
Yeah, you're gonna almost spend the amount for almost a ticket just to go to the park. Like, you know what I mean? That's for breakfast.
And I'm sorry, for cakes and cookies, for what felt kind of overpriced before, go to Gideon's in Disney Springs and you'll come out with probably better and cheaper.
I don't understand, I guess. It's just one of those, are the helpings gigantic? Is that what it is? So it's like two people can eat it?
I don't know. I've never been to Indiana, so I was looking at some people's commentary online and they were saying that it wasn't anything super special. So I'm wondering if like this location is having to pay a lot of money in space fees in order to be at Disney's Boardwalk Resort. I don't know how that works on the back end of things, because I can't understand the 40 to 50% price hike otherwise, because this already seems like a more expensive dining establishment. And I mean, $8 for a Coke, I can't get over that. And $10 for a hot cup of Earl Grey tea or a hot teapot of tea. Like,
listen, you and I did a review of Blue Ribbon corn dogs that'll come out on the channel. When we were there, we were there at like, I don't know, 4:00. We were there like pretty close to 4:00, maybe a little earlier, but we were definitely there for a while because we had done a review of another place there too. So we were there for a stretch about 3 hours. There was no activity around the boardwalk really. During that time it was very quiet, very calm. It was very hot out that day. But my thing with what I'm trying to say is like that amount of money, like with that amount of foot traffic that we saw was there, this ain't going to stay open. Unless Disney is subsidizing it or bought the license to it or something.
Or they build a parking garage so people can visit the boardwalk.
Well, that's another point. You can't just have casual people come. But also, I don't think it has that name recognition. You said that on the website, we think that one of the big things is that Oprah had kind of been like, oh, that was really what gave the influx into this business, is that it caught Oprah's attention.
There's a cake slice named after Oprah now.
Well, Oprah's
devoted to Oprah's choice.
I guess, and but I don't know if that has as much pull as it used to. I mean, it does, but she's not on television anymore, and or not as much. And it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. I just think it's like one of those things where these prices are going to have to come down, or this place is going to go real quick, because I am telling you, people are going to walk to look at it and then turn on their heels and walk away. And I just don't.
I mean, it's not even open yet, and this is all people are talking about, are these prices.
Yeah.
So,
and I know as locals and annual pass holders, or Walt Disney World junkies, like we all are, obviously you're sitting out there listening to this podcast right now, that you clearly you enjoy it, and we are historically jump and react with our emotions burn hot. But still, I just think from a business standpoint, it's I don't know. And if this is a tea place, if this has that atmosphere, those portions aren't going to be very big, I don't think. So, I don't know. We'll see, though, but we'll probably go and review it for the channel to be is this the most insane thing ever, or was it actually good? I can tell you already right now, it's too much money for me. So there's a point that I get where if the thing I'm consuming costs too much, I no longer enjoy it because of how much it costs.
I've picked out the singular piece of toast for $4 and the side of broccoli for $8. Thank you.
Oh, she's doing the classic broccoli bread breakfast.
Sounds delicious.
Yum. Okay, well, that's going to do it. There wasn't a ton of news in this last week, and obviously, I'm sure more will probably come out tomorrow with the hurricane. Who knows? All of that stuff. So we're going to have a little discussion here before we go. We had a discussion on the show before where we talked about what we would like to see if Disney would add a second Halloween party, in the same way that there are two Christmas parties, because there is the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at Magic Kingdom, and then there is Jollywood Nights at Hollywood Studios, which is definitely a more dressed up and gearing a little bit older, I feel like, party. And so we had that conversation about what another Halloween party could look like. But you know what we didn't talk about? Over at Disneyland. You've heard of this place?
I believe I have.
It's like a Disney, but it's in California.
It's a land.
It's a land instead of the world. They do quite a bit of holiday layovers, whether it's Halloween or Christmas. But we want to talk Halloween specifically right now just because 'tis the season. But they have their Cars Land gets a makeover, Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters, whatever it is over there.
Maters.
They each have it's just like a little makeover where Luigi's doing a little Italian Halloween or Christmas song. And then in the same with Mater, he does a little Halloween jingles.
Guardians has the Monsters After Dark.
Guardians has Monsters After Dark. They have their Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Frontierland has a Halloween tree.
They used to have their They used to have the Ghost Galaxy on Space Mountain too. I'm not actually sure why they don't do that anymore, but they get like their Halloween and Christmas celebrations permeate throughout their park a lot more. Main Street with the pumpkins on it is incredible.
And during normal park hours, this isn't just like during a hard ticket event.
Well, and they have Halloween fireworks there while their party exclusive stuff is in the other park, which is nice too. So we thought, like, what would we, like a little blue sky, what would we like to see if Disney World started getting its act together and did some more holiday layovers specifically to Halloween? What attractions and what parks would we like to see get that Halloween?
Where shall we start? Should we go in order of parks opened, or should we just go wherever we'd like?
Let's end with the Magic Kingdom.
Okay. So let's start with maybe Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything at Animal Kingdom where you're like, they could definitely do something here?
I think it's too little too late at this point for this to come true. But I feel like the last couple of years they did a really like kitschy, colorful tinsel filled Dino Land USA for Christmas time, and I feel like that land could be really fun during Halloween. Just like dress up the dinosaur statues with like, I don't know, I'm just picturing like, at Target how they have the dinosaur stickers every Halloween and they're dressed up in different costumes. That's what I'm imagining. It just seems fun. It's like these,
I have the Christmas dinosaur pajamas from Target.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about a sticker sheet here. But there's, they're just dressed up in pumpkin, and there's a ghost, there's a skeleton. But I feel like that fits the cheesy theming of Chester and Hester's. And they could kind of lean into, I don't know what they do for Christmas, but do it Halloween. But alas, I don't think we're ever going to get that. I don't know if there's anywhere else really in Animal Kingdom where it would make sense to have Halloween decorations. No,
I don't.
Traditionally?
Yeah, because, we looked it up before here because I'm pretty sure that like Canada and the United States it's basically North America is where Halloween is celebrated the most.
It is a little popular in South America. So, I mean, maybe we could have something in like the central area in the new land that's taking over Dino Land one day, but we'll touch on that another time.
I would love if we move over to Epcot. Yeah. And at Epcot, I feel like the one that obviously
don't say it
begs itself.
Don't say it. Wait, what?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Cosmic Rewind.
Oh my gosh. I mean, do they even have to do anything like cosmetically? It would just be songs.
They've done it with the Christmas before that they didn't bring back because no one reacted to it very well.
You know my story about that, right?
No.
So I was excited about them having like the holiday remix, but then it turned out it was just one song. Mm-hmm. So what I ended up doing, because I love Guardians so much, I still went and rode Guardians a lot, but I put in my noise canceling headphones and I put in my own songs to the ride instead of the Christmas song.
Yeah.
So I might do that for this Halloween season because this is a really cool idea. What songs would you want for Halloween?
Well, the first song, because it's got to kind of fit into the theming of Guardians, which, I know the world kind of opened up when Peter Quill got the Zune at the end of the second Guardians movie, but also this being kind of independent of that timeline, so it doesn't really matter. But I do feel like the 6 songs they've chosen for the normal attraction still fit in like movie-wise, like time frame and everything. So my immediate thought is something where it's like, okay, it's like 70s, 80s, and I'm like, Susie and the Banshees, I think their Halloween song would fit in there like pretty well.
Yeah.
So that was the first song that I was like, yeah.
I think Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah, for sure.
Come on. And maybe, can we like sprinkle in some newer songs, you think? Maybe
newer songs. How many Halloween songs there? I mean,
I don't know.
Obviously, you kind of think maybe like Thriller would be in there, but
Thriller would be great. Yeah, or like the Monster Mash, or
they're not gonna. See, here's the thing: you're just throwing out Halloween songs. It's got to be songs that have to fit the motion and soundtrack.
You're right. I'm so sorry.
It has to be realistically what they would actually pick.
Okay, I understand now. I understand the assignment. What else?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Those are my ones so far. I mean, I'm gonna pull up because I know in my Halloween playlist there's more.
I have more too.
Well, say one then, so I don't have to flounder here.
No, I gotta pull up my playlist.
Because you got to think they're not really gonna do stuff from other movies, so you're not going to hear like Ghostbusters or the Halloween theme.
No,
or
of course not.
anything like that. But I think like Feed My Frankenstein by Alice Cooper. I feel like that would be an incredible song for this. I don't know, Ballroom Blitz maybe? I don't know why that's in my Halloween song. That's not really a Halloween song, but that's the hard part where you're like, okay, why aren't they doing it? Put a spell on you? But they can't. That wouldn't.
What about Trick or Treat from Chuck Berry? Trick or treat, baby, on a night like this.
I don't know. I don't think I know that song.
You don't know that song?
I know it's not Halloween, but like Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics, I feel like would be in there pretty great.
They could totally lean into that. I don't know. I'd give anything for a little temporary change up on Guardians, especially for the spooky season. That'd be fun. Something else at Epcot. I know you're not a big fan of this attraction, but Living with the Land, I feel like they could play into Halloween decorations throughout some scenes there.
I think it's easy enough that like Living with the Land really doesn't require a lot to go with it. Like it literally is like, how do they do it for the Christmas overlay? Why don't they do the same thing for Halloween?
Yeah, Halloween lights, like purple, orange, glowing lights. That we could really amp up the pumpkins and the squash, all the autumnal gourds, and then like
oh my god,
the house Buffalo. I almost did it again.
She called it Buffalo Bill before
Jones.
it got started, and I was like, that can't be the name of that guy's house. I was like, oh,
Buffalo Jones. His house could really be decorated for Halloween, and I don't know. I feel like they could really play into that farmhouse. Fall farmhouse.
I don't know. I would love to see them. I would love to see them do kind of what they do for Festival of the Holidays and have some of those other countries that do celebrate Halloween, or if they don't celebrate Halloween, like what do they celebrate? Like obviously, in Mexican culture, it's not necessarily Halloween, but it's Dia de los Muertos, and I would like to see like a lean into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
I know that is already present in the Mexican pavilion, but
Halloween's really big in the UK.
Yeah,
and Japan also really celebrates it. So I'd love to see, like
tell us some folklore, because the whole thing is like at Halloween. There's a lot of like Americana, like American folklore, things like that. Even in the pavilion, here's the thing. If Epcot truly is like a world showplace, and it's not like, oh, this is for Americans, this is for the whole world to come and view, then there should be something in the America Pavilion that is about Halloween, because it's such a deeply rooted American holiday in terms of like iconography. I mean, come on, everyone goes to Magic Kingdom, even though we didn't see him. The Headless Horseman, like Ichabod Crane is a story that's been around in American culture for so long. Like there should be a reading.
Yeah.
Like there. You use the stage for that or something. I mean, I know it happens during Food and Wine, but there could be something during the day, so it's less scary for kids or something. I don't know, but I'd love to see something like that.
I agree. What's next?
What does that bring us to? Hollywood
Studio.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that Tower of Terror could use a Halloween overlay.
Yeah. That little tidbit I told you about the jack-o'-lantern being at the end. I mean, the whole story, the whole premise of the story of Tower of Terror is that it takes place on Halloween night, 1939. So, like, they could absolutely play into that. And I know we talked about, like, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout in DCA. They have the Monsters After Dark. So I don't know ours doesn't really have screens in front of you the whole time. It's pretty dark once you're in the drop shaft, but I don't know, the new spooky soundtrack, like play into the ghosts maybe some more. Maybe it's like evil spirits taking over, or I don't know. I feel like they have some room to play with.
Makeup on the cast members the same way they do at Haunted Mansion.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great idea.
I think maybe something at night really is the key, where it's like projections
after dark,
on the haunted on the Tower of Terror, the same way they do. Yeah, if they've done before and stuff, that would be nice, like a lighting package. I mean, Toy Story Land. I know there's literally a Halloween short,
and they have the Christmas land decorations. So like, bring out the giant jack-o'-lantern, like bring out the big Halloween lights, bring out some giant candy on the ground, make it like you're a size of a toy in a backyard with Halloween stuff left out. I think that'd be so cute.
I mean, if we're talking specifically about attractions, I would love to see a Toy Story Mania, I feel like, delivering on some sort of like Halloween oriented, where you're like, instead of confetti, it's like candy, and candy corn, and maybe there's something with spiders in it. I don't know. Something fun and kooky and I don't know why they haven't updated that ride in forever.
I know. I remember when they first talked about Toy Story Mania was going to be a thing, and they were like, "Oh, well, it's all digital. It's a digital game, so we'll easily be able to update and change out the levels." And then they only have the one that happened after Toy Story 3 with Trixie, the Triceratops.
Yeah.
Like, give us the holiday overlay if it's so easy. Come on.
Well, what about Magic Kingdom?
Magic Kingdom?
What's an attraction overlay that we don't get there? So for Mickey's Not So Scary, we do get to ride Space Mountain in the
Twisted
dark.
Halloween, yeah.
There is
Mad Tea Party.
There's Mad Tea Party.
And the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor,
and then they used to have the pirates, the actors inside of the attraction. I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah.
They didn't bring that back, I don't think.
Yeah. I feel like pirates, and then currently they have some pretty cool entertainment offerings during Mickey's Not So Scary in Frontierland. Like, they have the Cadaver Dans that sing their barbershop quartet, Halloween themed. They also have the hitchhiking ghosts that are greeting from like above near Country Bear Jamboree. But I feel like the land as a whole could really play into the Halloween decor and be available all the time, not just during the party. But one thing that I really want at Magic Kingdom, and this is going to be a surprise to no one if you've listened to me the last month that I've been here, 2 months that I've been here, is
Haunted Mansion.
Muppets Haunted Mansion.
Yes. Instead of Haunted Mansion Holiday, she wants it to be Muppets.
Yeah. Well, but they've said that Haunted Mansion Holiday would only exist in one park domestically. It does happen over in Tokyo, I believe, still. But in the States, like, it's only ever going to be at Disneyland. So I feel like World could have its own temporary overlay. And how easy would it be to just put Gonzo in the Escher staircase, or Fozzie with the Hatbox Ghost, and Madame Pig Leota in the Leota scene, and I don't know, Kermit hanging from somewhere in the banquet hall. Like, just putting the Muppets themselves throughout certain scenes and then changing up the narration a bit to accommodate that with like jokes from the film or whatever. I just feel like it'd be such an easy thing to do, and everybody loves the Muppets, right?
I think I would like to see, in considering it's a new attraction, and when they did Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout at Disney California Adventure, the shocking part was the year that opened, it was also like, there's also getting a Halloween overlay, and you're like, as Monsters After Dark. So they had all like done it all at once. I think I would have loved to see, because I feel like it's built into the story, is Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Yeah. She's already throwing a party. Why can't the overlay be for a Halloween party? And it doesn't take too much, because I feel like it's just some Halloween decorations on people. Maybe it was a different type of recording for the song or something like that. But then that's really all I want. Is I feel like I feel like they have Halloween in Louisiana, so it's one of those. I feel like it could have been fun over there, and I think if we're talking about over in that area of the park, I mean Thunder Mountain, I feel like could be like a haunted railroad or something. I don't know how, but that
bring out the miners and stuff. Yeah, haunted miners.
Yeah, and then I'd love to see the actors back inside of Pirates, and I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't really think I have any more for that park specifically.
I don't think so either.
So I think that's all of it. But if you out there want to tell us what you would love to see, what Walt Disney World attractions that you'd love to see get a Halloween overlay that haven't received them in the past, we'd love to hear from you. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. I know it's a little bit shorter than normal, but like I said, we've got a hurricane prep, and it is just the two of us here today, and we've been recording all day. So not to say that we're not still excited to do the show or anything like that. So we're happy we were able to get one out this week, even with everything that's going on. So thank you, Chloe, for being here.
Of course.
Thank you, everybody out there, for listening and watching. Like I said, please leave some comments on this video. We'd love to hear some feedback and things like that. If you are watching on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you click that bell, you'll get notified whenever we publish any sort of content on here. And if you are listening to the podcast, please feel free to rate and review that wherever you listen. That would be much appreciated. I just want to say thanks again for everybody. Send us some of your positive vibe, positive energy, because right now, Milton out there in the Gulf of Mexico is a Category 5 hurricane, and hopefully it's not going to be that when it gets here or when it touches any sort of land. So thank you, everybody out there, for all your well wishes, which I assume you're giving us. I don't know. Maybe you're like, maybe you're not. and then maybe like ask yourself why. And but yeah, anyway, we'll update you as we can about what's going on and making sure that we're all okay and everything like that. So to everybody out there, just have a good week, stay safe, and we'll see you again with another episode next week. So bye, everybody.